Notes. You are listening to the Overwatch Rundown, a weekly podcast covering the latest in the eSports scene of competitive Overwatch. Today is November 14th, and we are covering the Hulktastic Cup. Jax, it's sort of a solemn week this week, let's be honest. There's not a lot going on. There was Remembrance Day, and unfortunately, another thing that we have to grieve over, which is a loss of a community member that was well known to many people in the community. For people like me and you who watch, obviously he was important on a number of teams that we paid attention to. Of course, we're talking about InternetHulk passing away at a young age of 30. We didn't really have any prepared statements for this, Jax, but I did want to just get your thoughts on that maybe a little bit too.
I mean,
that
outside of
aspect
the
of it.
sadness that everybody else felt, Lepelos, I liked Hulk for a similar reason as to why I liked Harblue, in that when you watch him stream, he was a bundle of positive energy. For those who actually I haven't streamed in a long time, but when I play, I tend to get very upset, very angry, and so I like to watch people who are the exact opposite, to try to learn from them, to try to figure out how you can just stay calm, Lepelos, and enjoy the game as it is.
Yeah.
And Hulk, whether he was playing on his main, or he had this Widowmaker ult that he would play with, and he was just it's always just enjoying it, right? And even when you look at how he was during their professional games with Team Envy, he never saw as if he was tilted, right? As if he was angry. He was always, people give Mickey the credit, rightly, that Mickey is, the happy battery that Envy has. But Hulk never outwardly showed where just that pure frustration. So I liked him for that. I liked that he also, Leplos, gave Mickey a chance. Like if you stop and think about Overwatch League right now, and some of the players who aren't in and some of them who are, it's more of like who you knew, right? Who you're friends with determine whether or not you got in on Overwatch League Season 1. And you look at Mickey, no one knew Mickey Lepelos.
Yeah.
Even coming out of the World Cup where Hulk scouted him, no one, I mean, even then, right? He played a lot of Zarya, but they brought him in as a diva main. And Hulk was team captain, right? And went through all this and went to the ownership of Envy. He was like, let's give this guy a chance, right? And he took the unknown and started him down the path to where he is right now. I like things like that. I like people being given chances to prove themselves. And I'm sad that Hulk is no longer with us. But
yeah,
I'm thankful for the time that he was here in the scene and what he did to help it grow. He was one of the pioneers of professional Overwatch. There's go back to IDVQD, the original Envy team, and you can't really have that without InternetHulk. And as I said, I'm sad he's not here.
Yeah, no, that's for sure, and you can definitely see the impact on the people that knew him. The casting we had over the weekend and the people that knew him that spoke up there, donated to the fund there for the family, was pretty clear that he made an impact on a number of people's lives too. And Jax, I know, obviously I don't know him as well, but it's I think it hits a lot of us because we're all pretty young, and to be honest, he's younger than I am, and
both
I think
both of us, yeah.
And it's crazy. It's crazy to see somebody that was like both more involved in the community, doing very well, like a very well respected, both in terms of intellectually for what he did, the attitude, as you said as well, and to lose somebody like that, it's it's definitely a little.
I didn't
harrowing.
even know, like, I knew he was still involved with Team Liquid. I didn't know he was their head coach for the League of Legends team for next season. I had no idea that he was making the move back to League.
He's definitely had a pretty storied career for in esports. I mean, you do hear about people that play a lot of games, but yeah, InternetHulk definitely up there. Jax, I don't want to focus too much on that. That hard portion of the story. There's people that know him. There's good videos out there.
For anyone who did not watch the Hulktastic Cup that was broadcast on Gosu. I miss Gosu. I was like, I still had them on my follow channels. It's like, wow, I have not gone to Gosu _Overwatch in so long, Lepelos. But they had what 6 or 7 hours of casting, and the casters knew him. They told a lot of great stories about him, and I would watch it just for that.
Yeah,
It was really well done. I enjoyed it a lot.
yeah, definitely worth reviewing. That means though this week, Jax, we are covering what actually happened in the games. Now, granted, some of these teams sort of thrown together, which is fine.
Doubles. All I have to tell you is I saw Fraggy playing Mercy. That should tell
that,
you,
that does
you
tell you
know,
something.
this was more of a remembrance kind of thing. Let's just have some fun, enjoy the game, in Hulk's name. On the PTR, by the way. So there's a Nerf Mercy. There's Moira in now, and I can't wait to see more of Moira.
Definitely some
But yeah,
interesting things from that coming out. Uh, ends up being we had a round of 32, but not 32 teams. So just
right.
just a handful more than 16. I think something like 20 in total of teams playing in this tournament. We're gonna go ahead and skip right to the semifinals in our coverage of the games itself, Jax. And is there anything
There was a
maybe the
one
20
thing
Hulk in the Chavs
that
you want to talk about?
just in the lower level, the round of 32, a lot of teams got waivers through the round of
Yeah.
32 just because they didn't have enough teams. But one series that was played, Lepelos, was Brazil Gaming Hulk, which was Brazil Gaming House, versus the Chavs, and the Chavs took that one 2-0. I don't reason I pointed out because I know there were reports of Brazil Gaming House looking to move from Brazil to North America to get sponsored, right? So that they can get in on Contender Season 2, get in on maybe starting in the second tier and work their way up to Contenders in Overwatch League level. Um, and this has to be a bit of a setback for them, Lepelos,
Yeah.
to lose to the Chavs 2-0. I mean, they lost a few of their members. They lost their coach because they didn't want to leave Brazil and come to North America. So for them to get a chance here, even if it's not a serious tournament, right? It's still something for them to show themselves in,
Yeah,
and
and
for them
that's
to come
also
out and
true
lose
of
2-0 to the Chavs, who the Chavs haven't been around for a while, right?
yeah.
It's got to be really, really disappointing for them.
Yeah, it's definitely a little sad for the South American scene to see them come out and lose like that at this portion of the tournament. Obviously, if you're Chavs, you get through to the next round, and
Well, if you take a look at who the
yep,
Chavs played in the very next round, Lepos in round of 16, they played 20 Hulk. Who was on 20 Hulk? You had Banny, Boink, Muma, Rockus, Tailspin, and Mikey A. So no surprise then that the Chavs who beat Brazil Gaming Hulk went on to lose 20 Hulk because that team is very stacked.
yeah, and I mean they made a game of it.
Yes.
Chavs taking a map there off of 20 Hawk was good, and it was definitely a good series, but not enough for the Chavs. You did strike a point I just want to reiterate, which is another number of the teams were sporting players that aren't in the Overwatch League team, and probably not yet on a contenders team. So we're still, you're
Lepos, you
still
say a
seeing.
contenders team as if we know anything
Oh,
about
yeah, we don't.
contender season 2. We saw Nate Nanzer had a Twitter post after BlizzCon said contender season 2 information coming soon. Lepos was over a week ago. We've
Uh,
heard nothing.
I
The only
mean,
thing we've heard, teams disbanding from the lack of information,
I
Lepos.
mean, maybe that's
One, two,
information
three
that we're getting.
today.
Honestly, though, I never expect anything to come quickly out of Blizzard, particularly when it concerns with the competitive scene.
Lepos,
Just
these are gaming organizations and people's lives that people have put on hold here.
yeah, no, and I think unfortunately, it's a bit of a mistake, particularly when you look at their premier Overwatch League and how delayed they've even been in making the dates that they've set for themselves in that. And I think you can't look at that in a positive light ultimately. But Jax, here we are trying to talk about things in a positive light. We have a lot of people hopefully trying to make names for themselves. Like some obviously that we'll see are Overwatch League players, but others are not, and hopefully trying to show up and earn a spot for future contender teams wherever those teams come from. So
Dude, I mean, just some of these names. Like I look at, since we're not moving too fast here.
yeah,
I'm looking right now at Grouchy Desperados, right? You know what Grouchy Desperado Lepelos, Wolf, Naptime, Chance, Bread Expert, Mangachu, and Bird. That's the old Northern Gaming, right? It just evokes the memories from back in the day when, what I think it was last July or June, where Northern Gaming came out and surprised everyone with how well they did,
yeah,
and I think the Josso G Invitational, and it's like you just look at these like, what happened to these guys, right? I think The only one, like, if you take a look at what I just said, Wolf, Nat Time, Chance, Bread Expert, Mangachu, and Bird. Mangachu's the only one, Lepelos, that is still, hanging around that top tier.
Yeah, no, I mean
And
it's definitely interesting to look through some of these other teams too. You'll recognize players like Crew actually played on the Melty Jacks, right?
yeah, I remember Melty, the
Harquist
all-French
there.
team, Lepos,
Yeah.
hearing reports that Knox of Rogue is putting together or is a part of an all-French team that will hopefully find a spot in Contender Season 2 whenever we get information about that. I think AKM might be rolling with him there. So, I mean, if you take a look at who they have here on Melty, Crew, Moon, Flippy, Hardest, Cabal, Deegan, we've seen, what, 4 or 5 of these guys previously. So, I was wondering,
Well, speaking
what's
of
going to
that,
happen with EU contenders, and I'm looking at it. Well, there's a pretty good French lineup that can still be put together, Lepelos.
yeah, there's still some others too. I mean, look at like some of these teams still really strong players that didn't make it very far. Like I want you to take a look at a team has no name: Super Fluke, Midnight, Marine Lord, Jesus, Mineral,
That's
particularly like
I'm looking at a
Aiko.
team. I'm looking at a team called Winners Lepelos. You have Dogman, Zave, Line Pro, Novix,
Yep.
Dalton, and Psycho Waffle.
Yeah. So this was a pretty strong tournament overall.
Take a look at Hulk God. You've got just.
Yeah,
It was
the
good
list
that
goes on.
a lot of these pros, even if they're not on the same team anymore, a lot of them went back to the teams where they first joined the scene.
Yeah.
And wow, yeah, this was brought back some good memories watching some of them play together again. Ultimate, wow, I'm just looking
The
at the
Ultimate
Internet
Web
Hulk.
was playing.
Yeah, Ultimate
Louis
Web
was there.
Shrugger. It's just we haven't seen these guys in a while, and they're still around. You know what?
Yep.
I'm looking. While Overwatch League Season 1 and preseason is going to be big levels, I really want them to come out with the Contender Season 2 information so that these guys can start getting together. I don't want it to be like, oh, hey, Contender's starting in a week. You got a week to figure it out. I want
Yeah.
them to have time to come together and put together rosters because I'm looking at these teams here in this tournament here, Lepelos, and there's a lot of talent that's not in the Overwatch League. Maybe it's
Absolutely.
not tier 1 talent, but I honestly, do we honestly know what tier 1 talent is,
I
Lepelos?
mean, it's if you're judging by Dayfly being tier one talent, Jax, I think we do not know what true talent is in the
I
Overwatch League.
know we have here on the Overwatch Rundown have been very hard on Dayfly. Like I think I said to you yesterday on Steam, I don't understand how Dayfly can be in Overwatch League and Adam and Wolf are not.
Though
I'm sorry,
the
it just
only,
doesn't compare.
I mean,
It doesn't compare.
he's even if you take Korean supports, I wouldn't. I'd have to go down the list, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't rate him high enough to get in off of that list. Maybe he was one of the few that wanted to move. And so the only argument I could really make for him would be that you want a Korean on a team with other Koreans on the team too, so that there's some
I think that was the issue
synergy
with
and
Saya
chemistry
Player. I
there.
think
But
Saya Player from Metathena was offered a slot in Overwatch League, but he was like, I want an all Korean team. But
exactly. So
The only all Korean team is Team Seoul, and they already knew what they wanted. They already had what they wanted.
well,
So he's
Team
like,
Kongdu as well.
oh, that's right. I
It's
mean, Team Con.
Cloud9.
Well,
Cloud9
it's
Kongdu.
you
London
say it's not
Spitfires,
even
sorry.
Cloud9 Kongdu Lepelos. It's Cloud9 Kongdu Busan. You can't just leave out, a full
no.
team.
It's Spitfires, Jax. We're wrong on both accounts.
Oh well, I
London
suppose at this
Spitfires.
point now, since
Yeah. We got to transfer
OGN
over.
is over, APAC is over there now, just the London Spitfires. That's a hell of a lineup that they have. But he also maybe could have fit in with the New York Excelsior.
That's true.
A lot of Koreans on that team.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking at Metathena now. It's they picked up Recry. I'm a fan of Recry Lepelos.
Yeah.
I feel like he was held down on Afrika Freaks, and now Afrika Freaks is no more. He's moved over to Metathena. Only question I have for you, Lepelos, who's he gonna play? Who's left in the career for him to play?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a bit of an issue. We can circle back around to this discussion at the
Okay.
end, Jax. Let's go ahead and now that we've sort of lined this up with the fact that there's a lot of people still sort of proving themselves here, why don't we talk about the semifinals, starting with the upper bracket, which
Okay.
listed here at least upper bracket. Watch Neptuno feed on DPS. Love the name there, Neptuno. For those that don't know, support player, typically a Lucio
Lucio.
player.
Yeah.
Quite a good one at that. I believe from the Spanish team that he played on too at the Worlds, if I'm getting his nationality correct there. And they're going against Bird
By the way,
Noises.
he's on Philadelphia Fusion, Lepelos. Let's not forget he is one of the ones that made it into Overwatch League Season 1.
Yeah, that is true. So one of the rare people that actually make it through ultimately. But yeah, So let's talk about Watch Neptuno feed on DPS. But Watch Neptuno feed on DPS is comprising of Neptuno, obviously, Eco, Boombox is there, Fraggy's there, Hayes, and Snow. That's a pretty strong team.
I mean, Leplo is a pretty strong team, so much that Fraggy, normally a tank main, is forced off to play support. He's Mercy main here. You had Neptuno, normally a support main. He was, that first map there on Kings Row. He definitely, lived up to the title of the team. Watch Neptuno feed. Going up against bird noises, right? People are like, what do you mean bird noise? What is bird noises? Bird noises, LG Evil levels. Before they're LG Evil, they were bird noises.
And they looked pretty good again, Jax. Like, they looked pretty good coming out. I mean, for sure. Just for their lineup. Their lineup,
people who you might not remember anymore, Lepolos. We know Super. He made it to Overwatch League, right? We know Jake. He made the Overwatch League. Avast made the Overwatch League. Train, Vol, Rob 420, Lepolos. So a bunch of 3 players who are pretty good at the game who have not made it into Overwatch League.
Supports again. Rob 420, I thought was pretty good back in the day.
I always liked Rob.
Particularly in 3 tanks, the 3 tank meta. He was a very strong Ana back in the day.
I mean, you say back in the day, is he not a strong Ana now, Leplos? Or are you saying Ana is not strong, so he's not strong?
Well, he not in the current live patch, but here on test, he's actually strong again. And we'll get into that. In fact, why don't we get into it right now? We're starting on best of 3 in the upper semifinals here. And we start out on, is it Kings Row that I have here?
It was Kings Row first with Bird Noise going on the attack, Leplos. Honestly, this was the first time, like, the tournament had been going on throughout the entire day. I didn't have time to sit and watch.
Yeah.
And this was the first time me seeing Moira work on attack here. And I'm like, okay, the healing meta now, Leplos, once she gets introduced, becomes very interesting.
Definitely, it's definitely opening up these tank heavy compositions, and we will see some come out, Jax, actually, because of it. And Moira actually has some pretty good damaging stuff. In fact, on that A point attack, Jake and Rob 420 on the Moira. Yeah. We're doing very well there in order to capture that A point. In fact, we had the bird noises going through A and B points almost uncontested.
Very reminiscent, Lepolos, of when they first exploded on the scene with how they just pushed. Like, the thing I loved about bird noises was how aggressive they were, how aggressive Super was, and how Rob 420, when Ana was still the thing, was able to keep Super alive while he was swinging his hammer with a W mouse 1. Train, very solid work on Soldier. Couldn't really criticize him there. One push, one take for the A point, roll through the B point, Lepolos. And, I mean, if we're being honest here, 3:25 left in the time bank as they cap it out on Kings Row.
Yeah, no, that's a very, very quick time. Hard to make up, but, we have Neptuno feeds going on their attack. Not making use of the Moira even on their attack. On the flip side, Rob 420
Neptuno was too busy feeding. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
he died like 3 times to Jake on the Junkrat.
Yeah, actually, I had that in my notes here to highlight 3 times in a row to that Junkrat. Yeah, that's pretty good. Bird noises do make it through with about a minute or under a minute on that A point.
25 seconds left in the bank.
And Jax, we have the boombox switch to Bastion that never really leaves the spawn room.
When I talk about the memories that this tournament was bringing up, it was, again, spawn camp. LG Evo, talk about their aggression. This is what they did, Leplo. They stood right there next to where the payload was and says, "Okay, you want to come out, but you have to beat."
Yeah.
I saw the switch to Bastion. I'm saying, okay, but can Bastion get into the Leplos? He couldn't go. What was he gonna do? Sit in a spawn room?
He couldn't go in. And then when they do come out, they have a graviton surge. And what do they do to get through the shield? They use the convalescence there, Jax.
Leplos.
3 kills off that.
Leplos. What are you gonna call that? I mean, who was it? Achilles from OGN. He was talking about the Kamehameha, the Dragon Ball reference, right? What are you gonna? So we got Big Bang, we got Bigger Bang, we've got, oh my God, what is the Doomfist thing? Space Jam with Doomfist and Zarya. Now you've got Zarya Moira. What are you gonna call this?
Yeah, no, I haven't given it a thought, Jax. Other people.
The community is gonna call this.
Community
has
has
to know
to
at OW Rundown.
Yeah.
You have Zarya, Graviton Surge. You have a Moira with the convalescence. What? I need a name, Lepolos. I can't call it Kamehameha.
Yeah, that is a mouthful, but hopefully the community will come up with something. If that's what they land on, that's what they land on.
Kamehameha, are you kidding me?
Beam.
And no, we have a viewer here in chat, Lepolos. He says Jesus beam. No, No, it's not Jesus beam. But what I will say, the Lepo's boombox switched off the Bastion. Junkrat, he spammed some nades. He got his rip tire with 10 seconds left before overtime. Gets kills with the rip tire. They finally break the spawn.
They do break the spawn camp, and Jax, the cart finally gets under the archway, and Hayes, going to make the plays. Jax, he's got that graviton surge. He lobs it up in the air. He lobs it up in the air. He's going for style points, man. I mean, this is, granted, it's probably the nature of this tournament where you're just having some fun. So he lobs this one up. It does catch people, Jax, but
he had 3 or 4 people level long distance graviton.
It was a graviton that worked. I mean, the style points were huge off it. I was laughing when it came out, and I was laughing when Neptune feeds on DPS get off of
they went
cart.
C9.
They did.
I'm saying to myself, this is supposed to be, remember, InternetHulk, not C9. Lepolos. I mean, you have this fantastic graviton enemy team stuck in it. Okay, let's go get some kills, guys. But the payload.
Yeah, they left the payload there.
They had 10 seconds left when they finally broke the spawn camp. That means 10 seconds later, it's overtime. You're not going to get through the entire street space in 10 seconds. They got that first map, the bird noises, fun, and there we go, losing tower map.
Yeah. Listen, we had a lot of King of the Hill, at least at the end here, Jax. I'm just going to say that. Li Zhang, though, we're starting it out here. This is our first one out of a series that we're going to be talking about.
What is Bird Noise running?
Here we are. We set this up. We told you maybe this would come out. Although, interestingly, Jax, Ana Lucio.
Really?
So not doing Ana Moira. You still want that speed boost for engaging.
By the way, healing output from Moira might need to be looked at. The range is limited, but I think someone was saying the range 20 meters, the same range as a Roadhog Hook, which is pretty far. We're not
yeah.
Some aspects of her kit is 20 meters, but the healing output from Moira is something that I was looking at quite a bit this week.
Yeah, and it looks pretty good, honestly. So here though, we start on the night market, and this is actually a pretty close round on the night market. This one, it was a lot of back and forth,
like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, definitely.
Hayes made the switch over to Reaper because when you have 4 tanks, you have to be able to kill the tanks below. That sadly was not enough for watching that 2-0 feed.
Yeah,
because Bird Noise tapped it out.
2 things in that final last fight. Snillo going off, fragging out an OT. Pretty important there. The other thing, Avast getting into the huge boop on Hayes, who was at 75%, trying to get back in for that final fight on his Reaper. Shut Bird Noises down. Or sorry, shut Neptuno feeds down for the 199 Bird Noises round. They're up 1. They're one round away from the series victory. Bird Noises starting on Gardens here, running a 303 this time, Jax.
I'm telling you, the memories, man. We saw 402, we saw 303. It's been, we last saw, 303? I think December, January, last time we saw 303. I mean, actually played?
At high levels. I think we saw it one other time or whatever, but at a different tournament.
I mean, you go from a triple tank, from Bird Noise to triple DPS, from watching the 2-0 feed on DPS. They ran Pharah with Neptuno on the Pharah. Lepolos, you had a Soldier, which was Boombox. You had Hayes on the Tracer. You had Fraggy on Mercy.
Yep.
But honestly, Lepolos, for me, I go back to what I was saying earlier about Moira. The sustain is so real.
Yeah, definitely. The 3 support meta, definitely really strong with Moira.
And with Moira, Lepolos, she also brings the DPS aspect to it with her kit. Unlike Mercy, who might buff other players' DPS, Moira's a pretty,
yeah, and I think
looked at here.
I think you're going to find her really, really useful on tight maps. For instance, on the Garden here, in the point, when you have the ball bouncing around in that room, any location like that is going to be pretty strong for her.
I'm also, it doesn't require a lot of thinking and, just on the spot thinking. That's the second decision making from your support player. Do you use the orb defensively or offensively? Yes, you can use it for both, but at times you don't always get that choice. And left wondering, try to get out a little bit more damage? Do you try to get out a little more sustain, a little bit more healing? How do you use it?
Yeah, it's really gonna. And what compositions do you use it with? I have some ideas about how it could be used, but we're not a theory crafting podcast, Jax. Here, Jake using it to good effect on the actual map, and that's what we're talking about. Super quick ultimate coming out from him. There are a couple flips, but I mean, between
Bird
Wob
noises.
420 and Jake doing really good on the support play here, 100 to 57 round for Bird Noises. They take the map. They're on to the grand finals.
Final two Lepelos, we have the InternetHulk Spanish Lovers versus Arc 69. Arc 69 throughout the entire tournament, Lepelos, they rotated in many.
Yeah, they've had different players. Here, they had a team consisting of XQC, Space, Taimu, Dante, Kariv, Custa, a really top tier team. Jax. Like,
But you take a look at InternetHulk Spanish Lovers, you had uh, Nanra, Minikunga, Ilka, or Zhao. We've seen Zhao Lepelos and Othax. Othax impressed me. It's like, I want to come from. I want to see more of Othax. Hopefully, he shows up in contenders for maybe the open division.
Honestly, that. Well, I mean, we'll get into this. So why don't we talk about it, Jax? We have another Li Zhang Tower immediately to cover.
Well, it's a lot of King of the Hill here. I'm just pointing this out here. You're giving me a lot of the King of the Hill to cover. You know, for InternetHulk, I will do it, man.
But here we are, more King of the Hill. Li Zhang Tower, we're still here in Garden, so we left on Garden, we're back on Garden. Widowmaker finding heads, Jax, on time.
Oh, it's Taimu, dude. Of course, Widow. Okay, fine.
You got to keep his morale up in these short tournaments, I guess. So, you know, Kariv and XQC here, though, the real story is about why Taimu could go off. Like, getting the heals and space creation out of those two really provided them. You know, that said, Spanish Lovers here were able to really pressure Arc 6 right back, though.
This is where Taimu showed that he's not, you know, that he is an experienced Widowmaker player at the high level here. Casters did say he had a few beers, so he might have been slightly inebriated here. That did not stop him from falling out of the Widow's trap. Right? They lost the point. He tried to push in once. He's like, okay, this is Widow needs to be able to set up. He wasn't able to set up Leplos off Widow because it was working.
And it didn't end up working out, Jax. Just so you know, you're cutting out on my side, so I'm gonna
that's not
just like a little bit. I did want to also give a quick shout out here to Kariv and Custa, really doing great support work, particularly in that little room off to the side of the point here at one point in the final fight. As that one extended, the two of them keeping each other alive and keeping the team alive and shutting down. I believe it was. I think it was Zhao that was playing the Tracer at this point, trying to harass the two of them, and they managed to team up and shut him down as well.
Lepelos is what they were playing Kariv on Ana, Custa on Moira. If you get the biotic grenade, you know, from Ana for the healing boost with Moira's healing output, how do you can't kill her fast enough? I mean, I don't see how.
I mean, this comes back to why the 303 broke down. Which is, and then 312 broke down as well, which is people have to get back to the strong dive on support, like literally only dive the support, and that's why 132 used to work. Or like once some of the changes to the damage of Ana, particularly. Okay, anyways, we're getting into theory crafting it, but I'm just saying people haven't practiced that level of dive.
Like Taimu on McCree. If you have a tier 1 McCree back there with the flashbang, you try to dive and what happens? Flashbang dead. Flashbang dead.
No, I mean, that's why it was a multi-pronged dive formerly, Jax. Like,
I do want to point out that I meant to say it earlier when Time was on Widowmaker. On Reddit, he made the comment to Flower. He's like, I can't wait to turn 18. So Time was showing, you know, when he was hitting those headshots level, I was like, Flower's not the only one. You know, people. Time was the original Widow, or is that Kefri? I forget.
I'm not sure. I'll have to check my prescription, Jax, for that. But
all right, but Lepelos, what we're saying though is round 1 Li Zhang to Arc 6, what 170?
170 here. The second round going onto the control center. Taimu Junkrat coming out here, doing great damage despite the early flip by Spanish Lover. Arc 6 quickly retake that, or Arc 69.
He has Riptire. The first fight it barely finished. He had Riptire.
I'm gonna listen. I think overall he played well, but Venenra here, two Graviton Surges here, not finding value. Bit of an issue when you look at the final map scoreline here of 190.
Lepolos.
One of those could have made the difference for this.
King of the Hill, how often throughout the last 61 episodes that we talked about Zarya being so important on King of the Hill, specifically Graviton Surge level.
Yeah.
You should, for me personally, maybe I'm wrong for saying you should always, but I feel
it should be.
You should always win a fight with Graviton Surge or King of the Hill.
Yeah, if there's two Zaryas and you create a Graviton duel, that's one thing. You know, that's like tossing the dice out. But if you have a Graviton Surge up, you use it, you better at least, you know, gain a strong advantage. And if you guys lose from there, it's sort of your own fault. Hero Jacks, they were not even able to take advantages of their
I do want to say,
surges.
I liked Othax on the Roadhog, played very well.
Yes.
I don't know where he came from.
Yeah.
Shown me some things here that make me want to see more. So hopefully, round for EU contenders or open division, if Nate Nanzer ever comes back to us with that information. But we go on to the second map of King's Row. Starting to wonder, if these are the only maps in the map pool right now.
I mean, people play what they want to play, I guess, Jax. Here we're back on King's Row. Time of breaking out the Hanzo on attack here for Arc 6. Arc 69, I guess, or 69, whatever. With Ana Moira as well. Finding Mini Kunga off the start. Arc 6 quickly take A point. Now, I mentioned the Ana Moira Jax first one I saw. There might have been one earlier in the tournament, but the Nano Covalescence coming out here for 2 kills in the second phase, Jax. I think we can maybe see this combo or the Graviton Surge.
You gotta name it, Lepolos.
Yeah.
What are you gonna name it?
I'm not gonna name it anything. I'm open to suggestions. I'm not gonna be a namer here. What I can say is Spanish Lovers coming out for a pretty good defense right before B point, though, with maybe a little bit of a mistake on the side of Arc 6 where they don't save the Graviton for the Dragon Strike at the same time. Yeah. Sort of cost them there. I mean, they also had XQC in a fancy position, but he got caught out and had to be forced back before trying to land Earth Shatters. And Jax, while they make it in the next fight off of an XQC Earth Shatter, but they find some trouble. Arc 6 finds some trouble in the third phase as Nior finding some massive Earth Shatters. 2, in fact, I think. 2 fights, basically one off of the back of his Earth Shatters in the third phase.
Yeah, they bought themselves a lot of time, Leplos. I was a little concerned with how fast R69 was making it through, and then in the final third, it's always tough to push the final third, you know, because defenders have the spawn advantage. But yeah, they bought a lot of time, especially off those Earth Shatters.
Yeah, no, you were playing very good there. I did also want to say if there's a clip out there, I'm not sure where it is, but there's got to be a clip out there of Timmy's crazy flick on Othax after he got the hack on him. He just domed him in the head right after that. It's just incredible.
The other thing that I need to find and post a link to, but I still have to post a link. I didn't post my link last week on Twitter from Flower crushing at the World Cup, but I want to so this wasn't official tournament, so the players were able to stream. I know XUC streamed, but Custa streamed. And I want to watch Custer's point of view of a lot of these fights because we don't know enough about Moira. This is the first time we're actually seeing Moira played at a level that is higher than what we're used to seeing from PTR play. So I'm gonna post. I'm gonna find it. I promise you, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna post it on at OW Rundown because this is something that we're gonna have to get used to. Levels, new hero, it's not going anywhere. We're gonna need to learn about it. So yeah, and he played very well. The thing is, Cuss has always been a top-notch support. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, it's definitely pretty cool stuff here. Jax 132 is what Arc 6 had on attack.
They bought a lot of time, though, Level.
They bought a lot of time. It was pretty significant. Arc 6 going on defense here with Sombra for Dante. Meanwhile, Spanish Lovers running a 402 here, Jax. We're seeing heavy tank
402. Is it coming back?
It looks like it's coming back a little bit. Lots of poke cap and, lots of poke.
Is that a good thing, Lepolos?
I would not be opposed to it being a portion of the meta for some locations, but I'm not going to be happy if it's going to be all the time. And it feels like people in the meta want to have one composition that they run all the time. So I'm a little concerned. I think
if 402 becomes as bad as it was, I think Blizzard will quickly tone down more. If
Absolutely.
That's the case.
I don't
think they'll let it go as long as it did previously.
Do you think they'll let it go as long as they let Mercy's revive funkiness go?
See, the thing with Mercy is, I think they.
We're
If
gonna
them,
we're
like,
getting sidetracked though, to be honest.
Oh man, but I mean, there were times I don't know.
We're not seeing as much Mercy though. While we're speaking of it, we're not seeing as
I mean,
much Mercy.
but to be fair, but you have Fraggy playing Mercy for
Yeah.
in one series, which you're not going to be seeing when it goes live, and for the rest of it, Cusa's trying out Moira here, so
Yeah, it's like they're having a little fun and doing that, which is good. Jack's Spanish lovers finding a little fun too. With Othak's mini Kunga, it's pretty good work here on the 8 point for a decent 8 capture time.
yeah. I mean, Lipolos, the defense finally got a hold right after they capped the second point. Taimu switched off of Farah, which, again, people knows I'm very critical of Taimu's Farah. I think we saw it in Season 2 or 3 of OGN on a couple of those Volskaya pushes that went nowhere because Taimu has no business playing Farah. But they've got Seagull now, Lipolos, for the Dallas Fuel do, so they don't have to worry about that. But the other reason why Taimu then got off Farah was Vinanra on the Diva. Pressured him with the new Rockets Lepolos. That's a huge DPS burst. Get in your face, get the kill on Farah. Taimu went Widowmaker, more of the same. Vinanra giving him no space. I think like one of the best counters you can do, right? Even if you don't kill him, don't give him any space to set up. If Widow can't get comfortable, if she can't, set up those sightlines, yes, Taimu was an excellent flick shot. It's still, you still have to get into position to make the flicks count. He had no time Lepolos.
Yeah.
And talk about time Lepolos. What kind of time did they have in the bank?
They had
when Spanish lovers capped it out.
I did want to give another shout out again for another great third phase performance here by Newer, who managed to get great Earth Shatter early into the third, and then secures the final fight there with another good Earth Shatter for 251 on that C point capture. Arc6 having to go down or go on second attack first here, breaking out the Reaper for Taimu here, finding a lot for a pretty solid A take, and Jax, things go badly from there.
They had the Big Bang Lepolos.
Yep, Arc6 breaking it out like old school style.
Dante Graviton, space with the 2K self-destruct, nothing you can do.
Listen, now this isn't called something, but in the third phase, the Graviton Surge comes out for Vinra, and the boop comes out on XQC from Ilka here. Hilarious. I found it hilarious. This is not
What's
important.
he supposed to do, Lepolos?
I've never.
What do you do?
It's pretty funny. Yeah, XQC is just looking down at the ground like, ah, shit. Sorry for the language, everybody.
We'll say Lepolos Spanish, InternetHulk Spanish lovers, they finally do. I mean, for me, the timing, when that Graviton and Self-Destruct came out, was when InternetHulk Spanish lovers wanted to make their hold. They had a few ultimates, right? Yeah. It was a perfect time. The Graviton, the Self-Destruct, you can't really do anything for that. They never got their feet settled until after Arc69 had made 5 points in 28.38 meters. When they finally Lepolos were able, to regroup. Like, so many of these teams who let it go in 1 minute, give a full capital map, a full 6 points, like we saw in the World Cup, is just, listen, just win one fight. Just slow down. Yes, there's some urgency in that every meter counts, but just slow down. Make one stop, and then you go on the attack and you do your thing. Yeah, and that's what they did. So, thankfully it wasn't 6 points here. It was a significant distance, 5 points in 28.38 meters. But Lepolos, they had a fantastic first attack. Just do it again. Just do what you have already done. So they go on the attack, and how does it go?
Well, they're running into a bit of a problem off the start, Jax. We're seeing a 303 come out of the side of Arc 6.
So we have 402 now 303 again?
Yep, we're seeing tank-heavy lineups, but Jax, all right. Jax, this time, one of those supports is a Symmetra. Tribute pick for Taimu here.
I'm trying to... Did we see Symmetra at all in the Overwatch World Cup? I don't think we did, right?
I don't believe so.
I think even in Contender, Contender Season 1, I think, or OGN. We didn't see the OGN. We didn't see the APAC. I think Symmetra is the only one we haven't seen. So now, Memory InternetHulk, Taimu brings out the Symmetra Lepolos. They didn't deal with it. I mean, I say it wasn't just a Symmetra. The healing output Lepolos might be too high.
Yeah, no.
This isn't even 3 support like we saw earlier. Earlier, before, it was 3 honest-to-goodness supports Lepolos. This is now Symmetra. Yes, she gives shields. Yes, he put down a shield generator.
Which got
if they're able to sustain 3 tanks with 2 supports and some shields, Lepolos, we might see 303 come back.
It might see 303 come back. This is true. The pendulum seems to be swinging back towards that. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, though, Arc 6 able to hold on this 8-point
Oh,
strongly.
hold!
They do. They take the map. They take the series, Jacks. They're on to
Wow.
face Bird Noises in the grand finals here
This should
for
be a good
the
matchup,
Hulktastic.
Leplos. A
I
lot of
mean,
good players here.
listen, I know it was a 2-0 here, and I know the other one was 2-0 as well, but like watching the plays come out of both watching Neptuno feed, but especially here out of internet Spanish lovers, with some really good players up and coming, Jacks. I have to be honest. I
Leplos.
really
Like I
do
said,
think so.
again, Othax. People, you probably tired of me saying it. It's because I want to see more, right? He, right now, I saw a post on Reddit. People are like, who are the unknowns that we should be on the lookout for? They're talking about Overwatch League.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about in general. I have not seen this person before, and while this is a show tournament, he showed me that I want to see a little bit more. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
there's actually 3 players I'd really want to highlight.
I don't want to see Neptuno on DPS though.
I
I'm
do
just
not
being
want to see
honest here.
Neptune
I'm just being
on
honest.
DPS. I do think he feeds on DPS because that's what happened. No, but in all honesty, I think Newar did extremely good on a tank. I think there's a lot of potential there. I thought Ilka played very well for the Lucio spot, particularly when he was on that. Mini Conga was good at time. Zhao good at time.
I think Vinanra has got some space to it, so he's got to work on a few things.
He's got a couple things to work on as well, but like, listen, I've seen 150k mess up gravitons of that level too. So that's all I'm gonna say with regards to Vinanra.
Okay.
Jax, why don't we move on into the finals, though, where we are seeing basically pro-level teams face each other here.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about, Leplos. Who is
Leplos,
please, Li Zhang again?
Jax, listen, we have a lot of Koth, and we have a lot of Koth, but here, when we're talking about the Hulktastic Cup, we're actually talking about King of the Hearts.
King of the Hulks. Hearts, Hulks.
All right, Hulks. That's what we're talking about.
I can handle this, Leplos. We're on Li Zhang. We're on the control center for the first map. We're seeing, a 3-1-2 out of Arc-69, Leplos. What is this, 303?
303.
Leplos, I'm sorry. This is... Triple Tank is coming back then.
The Triple Tank looks like it's coming back here. I mean, we're seeing the power of it come out, particularly with Graviton Surge Covalescence now. Setting up 2 kills there for Arc 6 hold at one point. Bird noises forced off by
I'm sorry. I can't say Graviton Surge Covalescence like that. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It doesn't right now, but that's what we've got.
Give me something here. I'm not Kamehameha.
Listen, the problem with the Covalescence is it both heals and damages, so we have to take that into consideration.
Are you saying it needs to be toned down? Is this what I'm hearing then?
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about balancing. I'm just saying the name of it has to take that into consideration. But
okay.
I don't know. I'm not there yet. I don't have an idea. I'm not even thinking about that right now, because what I am thinking about is when Vol got his Graviton Surge eaten here by space, like it was the old Diva days.
Levels, the Diva Matrix has been nerfed. It's not up as long. I mean,
huge play by space, man. Jax, huge play by space. I mean, this is why you would put him on a team, right?
I believe Space is on the team. Is he not Lebelos?
Is he still? I can't remember.
Well, I'm almost okay. People, well, Lebelos is going to keep talking to you about this King of the Hill map here. I'm going to find what team Space is playing for, because we have not done our Overwatch League preview episode. Lebelos, so you talking about who?
Well,
wait,
we are.
Is this right? Los Angeles Valiant for Space.
Pardon me.
Wait.
Yeah, he was formerly on Immortals, Jax. I think.
Formerly on Immortals. He's playing for the Valiant right now.
Yeah. So Dante, huge Graviton Surge of his own though here as a 100-0 quickly to Arc 6 on Command Center. Jax, let's talk about Night Market. Another sort of quick one here. Some changes to the compositions coming out. Bird Noise is 3-1-2 with Jake on the 76 here. Arc 6 running a 2-2-2 Pharmacy. Some early trades and early flips, but Arc 6 defending pretty strong here throughout. Dante working very well on the Tracer. 5 kills, I believe, or more on the Night Market in this last extended fight to earn the 122 victory here.
I mean, at the end there, I thought Jake came in. He got some good picks up. Dante, I remember Jake got 2 picks. Dante comes in with Tracer, immediately counters with 2 picks of his own.
Yeah.
Some solid DPS from both sides. The tank play for me, tank play out of R69, won in the map here.
I want to
XQC.
like if you have the footage from Dante here, I want to go back and watch what he did here because if you look up the kill feed, I'm pretty sure he ends up in this extended fight getting something like 5 or 6 kills as well.
Lepelos, this Tracer. You sound as if you've never seen a Tracer do this, man.
No, I mean,
it's Tracer.
Listen, Dante, good Tracer. I know he's a good Tracer. It's good to see him show up.
Honestly, you talk about good ultimate execution this entire map, both rounds by R69. King of the Hill, we've said it before, especially when we used to do the more full-fledged rundowns, Lepelos, when we took it every fight by fight. We talked about how important the ultimates were. If you go back and look at Winston's labs, the data will show it. Ultimate execution plays a big part of winning King of the Hill fights. And here, R69 completely outclassed Bird Noises when it comes to ultimates. But we go to the second map, Lepelos. It's more King of the Hill. This time, not Lijiang. We're going to Nepal, starting out on the Shrine. And things have suddenly turned around.
They have. I mean, we've still seen the pharmacy come out of Arc 6 again. Off the starts here, Bird Noises going to a 2-2-2. Genji, no mercy, no Moyer, though, for Bird Noises. Seems to be working out for them. Bird Noises capitalize
Classic
off
dive
of...
then, 2-2 Genji Tracer, okay.
Yeah, it's sort of paying off. Arc 6 getting caught maybe a little too aggressive off the start, but from there, Bird Noises holding on.
It's sort of paying off. I'm looking at this final scoreline. I mean, sort of paying off.
It
does. Paid off.
Part of it, though, I have to say, is Zod not really having his best performance on this map in general.
Zod not having his best performance. I gave them all this credit, right? I'm talking about how the good ultimate execution was for R69 on Lijiang Tower, and then you come to Nepal, they get no value, Lepelos.
Yeah, none.
When you lose a map 100-0, you means you couldn't even get what is it we say? What is it everybody says? Even if you're getting your butts kicked, you gather 6 ultimates and you smash the enemy team in the face and you take it. Even if you immediately lose the next fight because you're outclassed, you win that one fight because of your ultimate execution with 6 of them. Lepelos, they did nothing.
Jax, it gets worse than that. It gets worse than that. Let's talk about Sanctum.
Worse than 100-0?
Sanctum, Orisa, both sides out here.
Okay.
Bird Noise is getting the early advantage. Again, no Mercy Moria on their side. The Junkrat on the side of Arc 6 and the Roadhog picks and the Moira not finding enough here. Bird Noise is able to hold on again for another quick 100-0. That's how it's worse, Jax. 200 O's in a row, including
Lepelos,
a
how do you go
with
from
the
100-0, 122 on Lijiang winning to losing 100-0, 100-0 on Nepal?
I mean, NA consistency, Jax. That's how you do it.
Wow, Lepelos just called R69 middling R69 right here. It's what we're seeing.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, you don't want to drop 2 maps in a row that badly, and they did.
I was concerned
I did want
for
to mention
Bird Noises because they just did not look good on Lijiang, and in Nepal they're like, okay, we're woke, and
I mean, that's both teams are showing that inconsistency, Jax. Maybe they're just favor these maps for different reasons.
Since we had 2 one-sided Kings of the Hill Lepelos, right? 2 controls that went. One side only.
Yeah.
Let's take it to a third.
Yeah, why not?
King of the Hill.
Why not? We gotta keep the King of the Hills going. Unfortunately, not King's Row King of the Hill. In fact, they should probably just add that somehow, Jax, just to round out.
I would like that. I would like that.
King's Row King of the Hill.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Okay, here though on Oasis, we started on Gardens. Pharmacy's out both sides. Arc 6 finding really good work off of Dante off the start. Vol as well, really good.
Lepelos. I forgot about Vol. He comes back at 40%. He got 4 final blows on D.Va.
Yeah, absolutely.
Diva DPS now, Lepelos. Yes, she's got to do some babysitting with the limited matrix, but she's got a large health pool. The Rockets now make her. A burst. Is it another? Does she complement the dive levels with her burst? Like, if you just say you send a Genji and a D.Va, previously Genji and a Winston, right? Or if you send a Genji, Winston, and a D.Va to the back line, how do you mitigate that?
Yeah, it's definitely
the Rockets coming out, the dash from Genji Lepelos. So, if you look at all the free damage they have, Winston Leap, that's a free 50 damage. Genji dash Lepelos, that's a free 50 damage. D.Va Rockets, how do you sustain that?
You sort of don't. This is sort of the point of the dive compositions, though, right? Like,
okay.
You pick your target and you hit it, and you alpha that. You should know that language, but
is that enough alpha to break through a 303? If you've got a Lucio, a Moira, and an Ana back there, or even a Zen, can you break that with the biotic grenade from Ana boosting the healing Lepelos, or if Lucio is there to amp it up during that moment?
This comes back to how you pick your targets and everything.
Execution.
Okay. Yeah, which is why the tank strategies eventually broke down, was people executed well at taking out supports.
Okay. I do want to point out though, Lepelos, what was it? The ultimate cancel does come into play.
It does. Here
Arc
we
6
see
come back
Super.
in. It didn't. I thought they were gonna lose this because Custa comes in with the sound barrier. He's trying to drop the beat.
Yep.
It's killed before he drops the beat.
Yeah, Super was caught
To lose a sound barrier, like that's not an easy ult to build up.
No.
And yet Arc 69 at 38% cap for bird noises, they flip it back. I'm like, how do you lose your Lucio without getting the beat and still win the fight?
Yeah,
But
no,
they
that's definitely a little bit of frustration out of the side of bird noises. I'm sure next fight space huge to kill self-destructs. Jax, I know you love it. Zaw cleaning up the pharmacy combo himself. I mean, Jake does get the pharmacy early in the fight going into OT.
Okay, I saw this and I'm saying this is reminiscent of World Cup Lepelos, except he couldn't. In the World Cup, he couldn't kill Flower.
No.
He couldn't kill Toby on the Mercy Lepelos. Now he's hitting these direct rockets. He's killing the pharmacy. Yeah. And what happens? They take the fight. I mean, why couldn't they do this in the World Cup for Team USA?
They take a fight because Zaw comes immediately back for some good cleanup, and Arc 6 retake it for 186 round win on Gardens. Jax, they're on round point here.
Match point, Lepelos.
Well, yeah, they have match point here on City Center, and Arc 6 breaking out Zaw on that pharmacy combo again. Bird Noises going to try the dive comp with 132 coming out on that side. Sorry, did I say dive?
Yeah, it's double hit scan here.
No, yeah.
Double hit scan versus pharmacy. That should have worked.
Double hit scan plus Moira.
Okay.
So interesting composition coming out there. Now, Bird Noises.
Yeah.
Or go ahead.
I was saying the Bird Noises. They get the first cap. They run it all the way up to 60% when Jake comes out with this disgusting 4K visor. Absolutely. And again, see the thing that I like about Rob for 20, even back in the early Bird Noises LG Evo days, he didn't get the credit, but he allowed people like Super and Jake and Train with his support. He supported them to actually go off. Here, Jake is on the kill feed with the 4K visor that looked nasty. Rob 420 is in there with Moira doing the Moira thing levels, whether it's healing or getting the damage out, to help. Any chip damage that comes from your support is less that a tactical visor will have to take off, right? So that's less time he has to, have one person in his sights. Just fantastic coordination from these two. It's a shame, that they're not going to be together anymore. The synergy from LG Evil is something. I say LG Evil from Bird Noises / LG Evil is something I liked from them early on. Levels. I was sad where they couldn't continue it through the whole contender seasons.
Yeah.
Because their team play was really, really good. And watching it here, watching them play, is like, this is what I was missing. But Lepelos, they got it, all the way up to 90%, I think?
They did get it up all the way, all the way to 99, I believe.
Okay.
But it's not sorry, no, I'm getting this wrong. Arc 66, yeah, no, they did get it up all to 99. There was 2 OT fights here. That was the cleanup. Yeah, they get up to 99 before Arc 6 managed to get the OT flip. Bird Noises switched to a 2-2-2 composition here. Going into OT, a long fight happens, but it's Vol and Train doing great work for Bird Noises, yet it's not enough. It's not enough.
You want to know why it's not enough? Because at 70% mark, at the start of this long extended fight that ended up in overtime, Bird Noises had 5 ultimates, Lepelos. Train initially has the pulse bomb. He kills himself. Chat spammed NA bomb because it's an NA bomb. He does come back and put in some work, like you said, but he got nothing from the post bomb. Jake then went into a tactical visor Lepelos, countered by Grieves' Transcendence. A vast sound barrier allowed them to stay into the fight, but it didn't get anything done with it. They got no kills. Super then into the Primal Rage, nothing. Rob 420 into the Convalescence Lepelos, again, nothing. The fight extends into overtime at that point. Bird Noise have nothing left, right? They expended 5 ultimates. They're in a position where it's still rather equal, where after 5 ultimates, you want to be in the heavy favorite. Custard now, Lepelos is like, hey, it's overtime. I'll use my sound barrier. Enemy team has nothing. Za into his Dragon Blade because, well, enemy team has nothing. Train, as you said, Lepelos does get 2 kills off of respawn, except the trade started coming out. He gets 2 kills, then Arc 69 gets 2 kills. And ultimately, the defenders held on to hold out Lepelos, and R69 are our winners. But 5 ultimates. You asked me why, right? 5 ultimates going into a final fight It's not 6. I know you said, well, Jax, you said they got to have 6. Well, they had 5. They did pick up their 6th
They
one.
they
But
had the point too, Jax. They were
Levels, they had
defending
5 ultimates. You got to do something with it.
5 ultimates in a defensive location. That
Okay?
should be a
I don't
one.
know what to tell you.
That should
Got to
be a
execute.
winning fight. They didn't execute, Jax. Execution. It's been a while since we've used that one specifically. Execution lacking very, very much so on the side of
I see.
Bird
This is.
Noises here.
I feel like they're trying to make me look foolish here. I just talked about how great their teamwork was,
Yeah.
Bird Noises, and then you say, well, Jax, they have such great teamwork. Then how is it with 5 ultimates? They come in and they don't do anything with it. Well, bad execution, bad teamwork. I'm sorry to say. So
the
they're
inconsistency
trying
of
to make me look bad.
the inconsistency coming through here. Listen, this was sort of a thrown together tournament, and maybe these teams weren't as fully practiced. That certainly comes into play. But calling this, you have to call it what it is, which is fine because that's what happened. That is what happened. So good stuff coming out of Arc 69 here to earn the tournament victory of the Hulktastic Cup. I'm not sure if they plan on making this a regular thing
to support this Lepelos. I think they had the not Patreon, the GoFundMe or something was for. They had 2 things. They had one that was in euros. They had one that was in dollars, and basically they raised almost $30,000 or 25,000 euros. Lepelos, fantastic. InternetHulk's family has said, he's from Germany. His parents are over there. He said, well, we're gonna have his services here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fantastic, because he loved the city, and a lot of his friends of the last 2-3 years, Lepelos, of the Overwatch community, right? They're all here because Overwatch League is starting. So I'm glad that I don't know if the situation his parents are in, but this will obviously help them to set up things here with the money here, and they I think they said perhaps whatever's left over Lepelos will go to some charity. So just fantastic. I'm glad in today's day and age, basically, there's so much negativity and hatred, Lepelos, and this was a very sad occasion that turned into something good. It brought so many people together. Like if you just look at all the casters that came through, even Zoe, the little mini tracer, she stopped by for a segment just to tell her story. I was like listening to Uber tell his story because I had no idea that him and InternetHulk were so close, right?
Yeah.
He talked about them going out all the time, and just listening to all the stories that the casters had, listening to the donations that people were making. Taimu, I think Lepelos gave like $3,000.
Yeah.
So, and just sad. I'm sad, but I'm also happy that this tournament happened and it was such a great turnout.
It's I'm not strong on words about this either, Jax. I'm definitely glad to see the community come out. I do hope we do something like this again next year for his memory at least one more time.
I think there were some award, like the competitive Overwatch moderators were putting together and basically a bunch of awards that they were coming up with. They renamed one of the awards after InternetHulk.
Yeah.
I should find a link to that thread and paste it on Twitter for those who haven't seen it. So
I believe that's the one for up and coming players, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they can go in and put in their nominations and vote and things like that. But this Hulktastic Cup was fantastic. I'd say I really enjoyed this. A lot of good memories that it brought up, a lot of sad memories, but well done for the organizers, well done for the community for turning a negative into such a positive. I myself personally, Lepelos, I don't. I'll be honest, I don't really play Overwatch because the people who play it drive me crazy. And I talked at the beginning about the anger that I have, and I've been trying to work on it so that I can be more like InternetHulk and be positive. So this actually made me want to play a little bit, at least on the PTR. Like I went to go check out more and play. I haven't played in a while just because I love watching Overwatch. I don't like playing.
Yeah.
But this tournament, this event, this got me wanting to play.
Yeah, it was definitely great to watch. I mean, the format is like the done on a weekend tournaments are pretty good, particularly for the monthly kind of setups. I do like watching the casting. Obviously, you're very strong, and it was sad occasion, good commemorative way of celebrating.
Rest in peace, InternetHulk.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed watching it down from wherever. Now, Lepelos, this takes us into the normal rundown portion because while we did have the Hulktastic Cup and it was fantastic, there were a few other events that continued on.
Yeah. Starting off, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the bi-monthly Brawl, Season
Okay.
1, Division 1. This is down in Australia and New Zealand, of
Okay.
course. Is this the final week of?
I believe this is the final week, week 7, Lepelos.
Yeah, we did have it in Jax. I'm concerned because I'm seeing the Masterminds GC
What happened here, Lepelos?
not participating anymore. Like
This was
we weren't
what
sure about this,
happened.
but now
Masterminds GC has been around in this scene for how long?
listen, if somebody knows and can tell us what's going on, that would be great. But that makes the third team here that has not made it, or third team of this tournament that have.
Oh, I do want to point out Hussin who transitioned over to Blank. They came from Masterminds GC, Lepelos.
Yeah,
So this is what happened to this team.
it's definitely a little sad to see them go. They still have Masterminds Blue. They were
Yeah,
in this
but
tournament, but Jax, we have the finals here. Let me see if there's any important games, or if I'm just gonna. Yeah, there is actually one important game that I'm gonna highlight here, which is Atletico or is it Atletico or Atletico eSports taking on Masterminds Blue.
okay.
This was a game Masterminds Blue. If they won this game, they still had a chance of making it through.
Okay.
Because Scylla Esports finished off with a record of 8-6. Masterminds Blue, though, losing in a 2-1 fashion to Atletico Esports here, means they ended up with a 7-7 Jax. Means both, Masterminds GC forfeits the tournament. Masterminds Blue not doing well enough to get through.
Unfortunate.
That is true for sure. Jax, we have our top 4 teams that are moving on to the playoffs. So Kings Gaming Club.
I don't think they've been scheduled yet, but we'll definitely give it some coverage. It's
Particularly while things are like Kings Gaming Club here, though, remaining undefeated at the top of
if
the standings
I
here.
looking at this on the Wikipedia page, Lepos, it says the end date of the tournament is November 19th, so the playoffs will probably happen this weekend, even though we don't have a schedule for it. So I will keep a lookout for links to the VODs, and we'll add this to the rundown for next week.
Number 2 spot, we have Darksided 10-4, Atletico finishing with a 9-5, Scylla Esports taking that 4th place spot with 8-6. Jax, likelihood here being a Kings Gaming Club versus Darksided Grand Finals, and you got to give the favorite.
The thing that I'm looking for, and because I think the last time Kings played, they won the tournament they were involved in, but they dropped the map. Now I know you're saying that, Jax, that's a good thing. You want the games to be competitive, but if I'm looking at Kings and I'm when I look at when I look at a tournament like this, I'm saying to myself, okay, who's gonna step up next, right? So we had Blank come from Australia and New Zealand. They went to OPC. So now I'm saying Blank is there. Is Kings ready to make the step, Lepos? Can they go from Australia and New Zealand to OPC? Now to do that, then you've got to come and you've got to dominate your division like Blank did. And if they're coming in and they're dropping maps, then perhaps they're not ready to take that next step. So I'm looking at this playoff here and I'm saying, Kings, I want you to go. I mean, as I'm looking forward, I'm saying, Kings, I want you to go undefeated. But as a fan of Overwatch, I'm saying I hope you get some close games because that makes it more interesting. But that being, I'm basically, it's a win-win kind of thing. We'll see.
Yeah, Jax, why don't we head on over to Europe where we have the GO4 Europe monthly final.
Okay.
Check out
what this is the October final. We're in November.
I know, but this is what got linked to me, Jax. So this is what I'm covering. Did this actually? Yeah, it actually took place halfway through. The finals taking place November 13th here. In fact, did it all take place on November 13th?
It all took place on the 13th level. It's all in one day.
So much for that October final, Jax. But here we are in November with the October Europe monthly. I don't know how that works, but here we are. Let's go ahead and talk about a couple things here. Starting at the semifinals. Actually, no. We're going to back off to the quarterfinals, Jax, just to highlight one match. Because we had the Oompa Loompas take on Kaiser Littens. And I've got to go ahead and take a look here. Oompa Loompas taking on Kaiser Liddens. Kaiser Liddens, I guess, is a play on Laser Kittens. but their team seems to be distinctly different.
Leplos, they're all from Denmark.
They
Huh.
are. In fact, none of these names do I find familiar. I just wanted to highlight that because
I mean, Leplos, the other thing that, I want to highlight, I mean, it's a quarterfinal game, but we'll look at them in the semis, though. I'm looking at the Mojo Jojo squad, right? If you take a look at that squad, what do you see there, Leplos? You see Crew. You see Super Pluck. You see Kib. That's not the Kib we know. That's a different Kib. So that's the French Kib. There's an English Kib. There's a French Kib. This is the French Kib. This Mojo Jojo is all French team. But you see Super Pluke. You see Crew in the Mojo Jojo squad, Leplos. You're looking for Team Overwatch. Look, LFT Owl, Leplos. You see Dante, Vainless, Evoki, Matty H. You're seeing a lot of names here that we've seen before.
Yeah, you're expecting some good things here, Jax. Why don't we go ahead and talk about the semifinals? We're seeing looking for Team Owl taking on Iseba. Iseba, I think, I'm not sure if this is the same Iseba that used to play. It looks a little different, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong here, but Iseba taking, or Iseba comprised of Otter, Ascroft, Sardis, QB.
Interesting team here, though. They've got what? They've got four players from 3 players from the Czech Republic, I think. One from France, and then a Swedish player. Oh, I mean, hey, okay.
And Greek while we're at it too. So they're making up, and unfortunately, Jack not able to put up a strong enough fight in the semifinals against looking for Team Owl. 2-1 victory for them to move into the grand finals. Other side of the bracket, Oompa Loompas taking on Mojo Jojo. Jax, that's a lot of O's. And speaking of O's, Jax, that's a 2-0 for the Oompa Loompas.
Leplos 2-0 on Li Zhang, 2-0 on the More King. Leplos, I think we're going back. We're going back to 303, 402, and now we're going back to all these cough maps, man.
403, 202, 2-0, Oompa Loompas, Mojo Jojo.
In the first semifinal, Leplos, Nepal, map 1, Li Zhang Tower, map 2, then Watch Point, and then you come down, you have Li Zhang in Nepal in the other semifinal. We're gonna have to start covering all this cough again.
Oh man, Jax, that is true. It's
bad.
It's concerning. It is concerning. Oompa Loompas, though, Jax. Why don't we just mention who? Did we?
I don't know these players, Leplos.
Do you know anyone from that team list?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know these players.
And they just beat Mojo Jojo's squad, which we were just like, who's on Mojo Jojo?
The French Kib, Super Pluke. I mean,
Green Lord. Again, some of these players played in the Hulktastic one as well.
Okay.
So here we have the grand finals now between Oompa Loompas and looking for Team Owl. Okay, Jax, looking for Team Owl, just again for clarity, looking for Team Owl here had Dante, next Vainless, Evoki on a decod as well.
H next. I mean, we know 4 or 5 of these players. So
and finals scoreline, Temple of Anubis 4-3 Oompa Loompas. Jax, they're off to a good start there. Dorado 3-2 Oompa Loompas are 1 point away from this best of finals, and Yizhang Tower 2-1 Oompa Loompas. They finished it off in 3 games. It's a 3-0 for Oompa Loompas. So we're looking for Team Owl. They swept their way to the finals, Jax.
Looking at this Lebelos, they've got what? They've got 3 Frenchmen. They've got 2 people from the UK. They've got a Swede. That keeps their name sounds familiar to me from Oompa Loompas.
We're going to the Oompa Loompas. I'm just gonna say, like, this is a pretty good performance. I'm gonna go run down their characters again one more last time, Jax, just so.
Okay.
Because I think there's potential here for the future. So this is just for my memory, which is Chubbs, Faye, Dorito, sorry, Sura, or Surye, Funny Astro, and Kevster. So interesting lineup. We'll have to pay attention.
Tell Nate Nanzer to give us some information on Contender Season 2.
Yeah, I hope to see.
I mean, potentially a new contender team here.
It definitely looks like a potential contender, Jax.
Okay.
For sure. So we'll keep our eyes about what's happening over there. Speaking of over there, we're still in Europe when we're talking about this one. It's Overwatch Razer series in Germany, Season 1. Jax, why don't we have like a Razer US series or a Razer Canada series?
I'm trying to understand a season, Lepelos. What? Yeah. Oh, this started over a month ago in October 6th was the first week.
In fact,
we can kind of sleep on this. Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, it's sort of questionable. Okay, they're already filling in because 3 teams have already pulled out. So there's like, I'm looking into the future and they're already giving teams 4-0s. Jax, there are 4 maps played per per matchup for this.
This is serious, Lepelos.
Absolutely serious. But what is not serious is the 3 teams that have already pulled out.
Lepelos.
So I'm not even gonna say
wait. So wait a minute. Now, did they play any games? Like, how are they all 0-0 and 9? Wow, they're all 0-0 and 9 and 0 and 36. So okay, maybe they just gave them all losses once they pulled out.
Yeah, they did. Like in fact, like as I said, you can go to the feature and you can see that they gave them all losses in the future. So this actually makes it very hard to read.
They didn't even play a game. Like if you go back and look at week 1,
yeah,
that Hearts Fear team from like there's nothing there. They gave up a 4-0 because they didn't play.
Yeah, same
so,
with
okay,
SGB
I know, but at least it's something going on here. Right now, I'm looking at these regional tournaments levels because the talent has to come from somewhere. And even if Blizzard isn't allowing these super tournaments like we've had, if I take a look at the prize pool, which I'm waiting for it to load up here, this is 1,200 euros. That's so that's a decent amount of money for a German only tournament. I think, right? Is this German only? No, it's not German only.
But it's German centric, I think, right? So.
Oh wow! Wait a minute. I switched to is Germany's biggest fear the number 1 team?
They're in second. Final game is in first year.
Really? If you click on the overview tab, like the reason I brought up Germany's biggest fear is I'm looking at Meti, I'm looking at Nesh Lepelos. We've seen both of these players play in the quote unquote big league. So that's why, without looking at where these teams are, I figure they must be near the top. But you're telling me they're second.
We're talking about a one map difference at currently though, right? Let me actually see, because if they've had the one game together,
they haven't played because both teams are undefeated. So this is
like I have to look through so many 4-0s here.
Yeah. This is FG versus Germany's biggest fear. They haven't played yet. Oh, Lepelos next. Oh, okay. November 26th, you get FG versus GBF. So you'll have Final Gaming versus Germany biggest fear, and basically those are the heavyweights of the German scene right now, or this German tournament. We'll find out who's going to take first place in the group stages when that happens.
I mean, Germany's biggest fear did drop a map to the OB team, the Overwatch.
I mean, they dropped the map, but not a series Lepelos.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why is that the only difference between them right now? Yeah, they're both undefeated, so
they both dropped the map though. So Final Gaming dropped the map at some point.
So yeah, that
the
will
very
be
first week. Final Gaming dropped the map to Uludag eSports.
Okay, so we'll Final Gaming is a match up right now in terms of time, so that's why they're sitting on top. Jax, let's go ahead and talk about another European scene action.
Basically, people keep an eye out Overwatch Razer series. Like I said, right now we're looking to see where the talent is going to come from contenders. So in the Go For, we saw a couple teams. We're like, okay, we'll keep an eye out for it. Here in this German series, Lepelos, I'm really keeping an eye out on Final Gaming and Germany's biggest fear. But from Germany, where are we going to now? Is it still Europe?
We are. We're headed over to Portugal, I believe.
Portugal? What?
If you have me linked here correctly, where we've got a bit of a finals here in the FNAC, owned by HP.
Lepelos, this is 3,000 euros.
This is the third one.
Euro tournament here.
This is the third one, Jax. Apparently, we have not covered the other one. So let's go ahead and discuss what happens in the semifinals.
What was I doing the first two?
This is a double elimination.
Okay.
Going through here, Jax, but upper bracket winners final, we're seeing For the Win eSports 2-0 over Hexagon. Hexagon moving to lower bracket where they promptly lose 2-0 to Panther eSports. Unfortunately, Hexagon is gone from the tournament, meaning it's For the Win eSports taking on Panther eSports in the grand finals, where it was 2-1 on Nepal for Panther eSports to tie up the series at a 1-1 scoreline.
Okay.
Because this apparently had the
upper bracket advantage. Okay.
For the Win eSports, though, from there take it pretty strongly. 2-1 on Kingsborough, 2-0 on Lijiang Tower to get the best of 5 win and the grand final.
Okay, so people, I mean, basically we have all these regional tournaments. These guys, they're gonna make a run at contenders. So from right now, from Portugal, take a look at For the Win eSports. I think do we have group stages, or is this just there was no group stage? This was just straight tournament.
It looked like it was a straight playoff.
So I mean, Lepelos, they went 2-0 semifinals, 2-0 winners finals, but
2-1,
2-1
quote unquote.
in the grand finals.
Yeah.
So first, so I talked about Brazil Gaming House, right? You dominate your region, then you want to take the next step to international competition. Now we've got For the Win eSports levels. They've just won their regional tournament. Hopefully we get, like I said, we get more information about contenders so we can see them on the international stage. This is what I talk about when I talk about progression for these players, or take Kings Gaming down there in the Australian, New Zealand region levels. I want them to win, the bi-monthly Brawl, and then from there, springboard into OPC. So now from Portugal, we've got For the Win eSports. We've got teams coming out of the Overwatch Razer Series Germany. I'm looking forward to that, Leplos. We already saw 2 teams in the Go For Overwatch Europe monthly final. There are a lot of teams. Like right now, Overwatch League is getting all the press.
Yeah.
This is us trying to give these little guys some press. We're small ourselves, Leplos, right? Let's be honest, right?
We definitely
But
are.
for those of you who listen, check out, bi-monthly Brawl, Go For Overwatch European monthly final, Overwatch Razer Series Germany Season 1, FNAC Overwatch Challenge 3. It's happening all over the world. And where are we going to next, Lepelos?
We're going to your favorite
No.
Jax. Guys, if you don't know it, this is Overwatch Campeonato Brasileiro that Jax is grunting about because it's been sort of quiet. But Jax, we're coming close to the end of the round 14s. We're
Lepelos,
through round
this
11.
started August 17th.
Yeah, okay,
It's
so
November 14th, Lepelos.
and
Are you kidding me, dude?
it's still going. Jax, at least last week there was two rounds of match. This week there's 2 rounds of matches. So in fact, there's one. Supposedly, it looks like there's some going on live right now today, but we don't have that. What we do have is matches from the 9th and the 7th of last week to cover. Importantly, Jax, 2 games that did not end in 2-0s. Those are Dogma versus NL Black and Dogma versus Avance here. Dogma really doing their best to try and spoil some other teams' chances of doing anything. But other than that, it's 2-0s with no upsets across the board. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standings resulting of this.
Hold on, Lepelos. Before you do that, I'm going to link something to you right quick. It might be a little bit different than what you're looking at there. Because as you said, the games were played today. About anywhere from 6 to 9 hours ago. The 4 games for the current week have been played, though around 12, I should say.
Around 12, there's a couple more.
I'll give you an update, Lepelos. We had Uprising Esports 1-1 draw with WS Esports.
Okay, that is a bit of an upset.
We had Brazil Gaming House 2-0 over Dogma, no surprise. We had Northern Lions Black and 6 Esports, Lepelos, 1-1 draw there.
Okay.
And then we had Keep Gaming 2-0 win over Avant Esports. So if you take a look at the link that I just pasted on our schedule, you'll see the standings that we have right now after all these games being played.
Okay, so the short of it, just judging from what you're going to say here, is this next draw, another draw for North Lions, puts them in pretty bad position going forward when there's only.
They're in 5th, Lepelos. All these draws now, they're in 5th. It's only top 4 that make it.
Yeah, Northern Lions now with 2 draws. Dogma being sort of a spoiler for at least one of those 2 has put North Lions here probably out of serious contention. I think maybe mathematically they can still get in. It's not likely at this point.
There's 2 rounds. Lepelos, there's 2 rounds left, and do they play WS Esports? Lepelos, next week. So. Next week, Lepelos, round 13th.
But they
in
need
2 days. Northern Lion Black versus WS Esports.
But Northern Lion also will need to play, win against Uprising likely as well, and WS Esports is playing Avance. So
Avance 0-11-1.
Yeah, so not looking good here.
Is it safe to say Northern Lions Black is not gonna make it now, Lepelos?
That's a prediction, but I think it's a pretty conservative prediction to suggest that. So likely to happen that. Will end up this current scoreline will stand Brazil Gaming House number 1, Keep Gaming number 2, Uprising number 3, WS.
It took 12 weeks, but it got interesting, Lepelos.
It did. I mean, this is why we've been following. Now you guys know the whole story. We will still get some groans out of it for the next week or 2.
Again,
don't worry, we will follow it through to the end. But we're not
see.
done. We have one last one to cover, Jax.
What? Now what?
You linked me here the Logitech Taiwan 2017 November.
Another Okay. I mean, see, I shouldn't laugh because I'm like, first thing I saw was a prize pool of 10,000. I'm like, holy crap! and then I see it's Taiwan dollars, and underneath it they have 330 US dollars equals 10,000 Taiwan dollars.
And Jax,
So
I can't
okay,
pronounce most of these team other than team with bang in its
Lep,
name, if you
Lep,
remember. But
holy crap! I
but
just saw this.
but
Yeah,
did
good
you
luck.
take a look at the avatar for this one other team, which is absolutely making me laugh? And also they have IDDQD IDDQQ on it, which is also making me laugh.
Oh
Um,
man,
okay, well, Jax, this one did finish off. And I don't know how to say any of these teams' names, so we're
I
gonna
I I, I
start.
honestly feel bad about linking this now because this was like a last minute when I did the schedule. It was somewhat last. I
So
don't know
okay, Jax,
how.
I'm gonna do my best, and you guys are gonna have to put up with a bang 2-0 over the, what is that, Apache or whatever it's called, that little creature. It's basically a picture of a stuffed toy that is like a semi octopus thing. I'm not sure. So yeah, bang getting that 2-0. LCVS taking it over the tiger icon for 2-1. There's two teams with
Luplos,
the
are you
tiger
really
icon.
using icons?
I am, because I
There's two
cannot
tiger
pronounce it.
icons here, Luplos.
There are two. They may be part of the same team, although I do not see the same characters in the two names. So make of that what you will. Either way, Bang versus LCVS, and I say LCVS because that's in their actual icon, has LCVS in there. So Bang facing LCVS. It's 2-0 Bang in the grand finals here. Although it says it's gonna, yeah, 2-0 on the grand finals there to take the victory of the Logitech G Tournament 2017 in Taiwan. So congratulations, something Bang. I apologize.
Really, Lepolos?
Because we
something
listen.
Bang is what you have
When
to
we
say?
earn the big dollars, we'll hire a
Something bang.
Taiwanese translator.
I mean, I pass it on to our translator here in chat, and you're fired. The
Will,
translator in chat here, Toasty Lock, you are fired, my friend. For those who aren't aware, I gave him some French to translate for me earlier. Nothing. Absolute failure. So now I give him some Taiwanese here. Nothing. People, we here at the Overwatch Rundown, we need international contacts. We need to be able to translate these Taiwanese.
if you are TIS Robin, you guys should come and. No, I'm just kidding, but. No, seriously,
goodness.
that is so far beyond my knowledge.
Lipples,
there,
you
Jack.
just said something bang
Because
to describe the winners of the Logitech G Tournament Taiwan 2017 November. This was played at a LAN, by the way. Just put that out there.
Yeah, I have no other way of getting around that, to be honest, Jax.
Something bang. Congrats. Oh, this says Winter Champions. Wait, what? Hold on. I'm clicking more links. Okay, so for those who aren't aware, coming up, Lepolos, this is wow. See, this is when you click random links. So on November 18th, we have the Logitech G Tournament, Taiwan 2017 Winter Champions Tournament, Lepolos.
Okay.
That is coming up. I just put it on our schedule. So we have. Wait, what? Okay, we have PT. over NH against something bang.
See, now you're doing it.
And then they face someone who is already qualified. Oh. Well, please help us. Please. We desperately. Okay, so here's the deal, Leplos. Sorry for this unprofessional nature of this. We do strive to be better. This is the November one that we're covering, the November final. That's something bang won, Leplos.
Yes.
The October final was won by TTP over INH, and the September final was won by, I can't pronounce that.
Okay, so we're sort of at a loss. Don't worry, guys. We're also close to being done. Jackson, that pretty much wraps up our rundown.
I need help with the Taiwanese, man. I am really struggling here.
Jackson, let's at least wrap this up in a way that we know how to do it.
Well, I mean, okay, coming next week, we do have, again, the Logitech G Tournament Winter Finals. Hopefully by then we'll figure out how to pronounce these. Leplos, that'll be your job. We also have the Overwatch Team Story Chapter 3 Finals, Leplos. This tournament has been on hold for, 2 weeks now? These playoffs we've been waiting for, the Team Story Chapter 3?
Jax, they know we've been having a couple of late weeks here, so they're trying to save it to make sure we have some material for you guys to talk about.
Okay,
so
we've got at least one good game from Brasileiro, round 12. We got more of the Overwatch Razer series Germany, more of the monthly Brawl. I think that one we did say that just finished its regular season. Hopefully we get the playoffs this week. So for the next 2 or 3 weeks, here at OW Rundown on Twitter, we have very little to cover. We will try to find things to cover.
Yeah, if you want us to do anything in particular in terms of like of a small tournament that you want us to cover, do reach out. We will respond to that.
Please,
And
if you speak Taiwanese, please
correct us.
Something bang. I mean, we feel bad for this. And this other team here, we literally cannot pronounce it. So,
yeah, we need some language translation support for some of this.
I don't want to have to go to Google. Like the only thing I have left is Google Translate, and we all know how that's going to turn out.
Did we give our Twitter away though, Jax? I think.
Yeah, at OW Rundown. He is at Lupulos. I'm at JaxJX_Blake. You can also catch us live on twitch.tv/Lupulos every Tuesday night, somewhere between 9 and 9:10 p.m. Pacific. Also, if you just Google YouTube Lupulos, he does upload VOD of it there. I think last week Lupulos put together this little video package to go with the podcast. Really, really, really nicely done, Lupulos. This is what, episode 62. Wow, 62. Hopefully come 63, Something Bang will not be Something Bang. We'll have whatever their actual name is. But thank you all for sticking with us. 62 episodes. We'll be back 63. That's it, Lupulos? Anything else?
I think that's it. All right, that's a good show. We're playing music this time. Jack's now talking. No, actually, I'll talk this time.
No, I'll say my mic, like the button was stuck. So I hope everything went through okay. There might be. I did